Good morning and welcome to this edition of the Lynn Hayes Freeland Show. You know, this is that weekend where you're kind of thinking about what you're going to cook next week for Thanksgiving dinner. You're doing some preparations. A little bit later in the program, Carlene King is here from the Catering Kings, and we're going to talk about her new locations, give you some ideas of some things you can do for Thanksgiving, so you definitely want to stick around for that. But we begin with actually very exciting. It's a little bit old news, but we're still celebrating here on the Lynn Hayes Freeland Show. Janis Wilson is here, and she's wearing a new hat this time, no longer with the Pittsburgh Cultural Trust, settling in over there at the August Wilson Center. How's that going?
It's going great. I'm so excited about the future of the August Wilson Center. As you mentioned earlier, I was with the Pittsburgh Cultural Trust for 15 years.
Wow, was it 15 years?
I basically grew up there.
Yeah.
And it was a wonderful time, and I think that I'm poised to move into this role.
It was a good launch.
It was a great launch,
yeah.
And to do some great things at the August Wilson Center, so I'm very excited.
And once it was announced that you were going to be the new, is it executive director? What is exactly is your title?
President and CEO.
President and CEO. Once that was announced, it made perfect sense because you had pretty much had your hands in so many things in the arts community going on, and now you bring that to the August Wilson Center.
Right, and in the last 2 years, I was doing the majority of the larger scale programming at the August Wilson Center in my role at the Pittsburgh Cultural Trust. There was a national search. They interviewed, and I think there were 50 plus applicants.
Wow, okay.
So it wasn't like, oh, let's just get Janis from down the street
Right.
to come up and run the August Wilson Center. They actually did a search, and I'm happy that they did. And I guess they determined that I'm the right person for the job, and I'm excited for the opportunity and just really overwhelmed by the support that I have received from so many parts of the community, not just here, but nationally and internationally. It's great. I'm very excited and looking forward to the future.
A little bit later, we're going to talk about some of the programmatic things that you have coming up at the August Wilson Center. But tell me, I mean, what's your biggest challenge? Be clear about the August Wilson Center. It is this beautiful facility that most people believe has never lived up to its potential.
Well, I guess I won't say it's a challenge. It's just that there's a lot of confusion in the community, and so I see that as one of my responsibilities as well, is to explain the governance of the building.
Okay.
And so there are different groups. The legal name of the August Wilson Center is the African American Cultural Center.
Okay.
There's a group of foundations that came together to purchase the building in the last stage, and that is the board. The board, I have a fantastic board, which is half of the battle, which is comprised of Scott Izzo of the R.K. Mellon Foundation, Michael Polite, who is the board chair, Richard Taylor, who's also on the board, Tracy McCants-Lewis, who's your soror,
yes,
Max King, and Grant Oliphant.
Okay.
So it's a very high-powered,
absolutely,
excellent board, and that is the board of the August Wilson Center, and I work for them.
Okay.
And there are other groups that are also very interested in the success of the center. So just distinguishing between the different groups and what the different groups are doing, I won't say it's a challenge. It's just something that that's part of my job, is to explain who's doing what, and then try to pull all of those groups together to find a way to make sure that this facility, this building, and the mission is it moves forward.
It moves forward, absolutely. Right. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of the things that are coming up, and really, we start in December, and you just keep going and going and going. All that's coming up next on the Lynn Hayes Freeland Show. Don't go away.